Salam.
Salam.
Salam. We said it at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. So, uh, as usual, I'll post the link for any people who have any desire to come and join us to talk about the Word of God, the Quran, the absolute truth on the earth today, the only absolute truth. Yeah. Everything else is a bunch of nonsense. Salam to Imran. And so today, what did we talk about?
We
What is
said
our.
we today we said that we would read chapter 54,
Hmm.
and it's like a pretty pertinent question considering that you are messenger here. You're warning us. Nobody's paying any heed to what you're saying, and everybody keeps questioning that why are you the messenger, and why do you know and why don't we know, and there are no more messengers coming, but they don't pay attention to the message you're bringing.
Yeah.
And and then on that day there will be regret only, that people will say
Yeah.
when
I
you
mean,
read the Quran. I mean, and I myself, I struggle a lot, trying to improve myself. I need to fix a lot about myself as well. And I try, I pray, I ask for forgiveness to God, I ask him to make my faith strong, and learn from what you have taught us, and undo what we were taught in our when we were growing up and much of our adult lives.
just like me. I mean, the messenger isn't normally brought in pure and perfect. He has to go through the same transition, the same transformation to accept the faults, believe the truth, and then turn to God and ask His forgiveness. It's the same for everyone, just that the messenger is chosen above all of mankind. The messengers are chosen above all mankind. They they are far above all of mankind's status. The messengers are in a people by themselves, exclusive to God and exclusive from the rest of mankind. Yet they have to go through the same process. Man cannot accept that another man can tell him to do something, and that everybody is created equal, which is one of the biggest nonsensical lies invented by mankind, that we're all equal and no one can tell anyone to do anything, yet they force each other to do things on the earth.
Yes.
And because they're the leaders and they've chosen their leaders, so those leaders can force you to do things, inventing obnoxious, wicked, wretched laws that have no basis in the realm of God and His messengers to even exist, let alone be thought about. And the law that is God's law in His book is pushed aside, because that actually makes everyone equal under the law of God. But under that law, there are hierarchies that they do not accept, which are the messengers and the angels are the highest in the ranks of God, in the realm of God, and they have authority. And the angels have power and authority. The messengers only have the um, the authority to tell you. We have no power to make you believe. I mean, even the angels can't make you believe, but the angels can actually do things which you and I and the other messengers and prophets on that have come on the earth to mankind, they don't have the authority to do that, nor the power. All the authority the messenger has is to deliver the message, and that is incumbent upon him. So when we deliver the message, we can't force anyone to follow it. It is not our place to follow, to make people follow us, to force people, or if they don't, we cannot enact evil upon them. God will enact that evil. And when the time comes, the gates of wretchedness and destruction and evil will be opened upon mankind, this generation, as well as all before, and
Yes.
all of them that are coming in the future. Yeah.
Yes.
So let's start reading this chapter. Let's share it. So chapter 54, and the title of the chapter is The Moon. And it starts with the name of God, the Almighty, the Merciful. So this is God speaking to us, by the way, in this chapter. She comes close, the hour, and surely splits the moon. So we are being told when the hour comes close, and this hour, I believe, is the hour of the end, when this whole creation of mankind will be put to an end completely, and this earth and heaven, the sun and the moon will all be destroyed. This will be one of the clear signs that the moon will split, and people will not need telescopes or any kind of scientific instruments to figure it out. They will look up and the moon will be split apart. It has not yet happened. And people say in the so called Muslim world that this happened in the time of Muhammad. Unless it happens at the end of every generation, that it splits and the hour of that people comes and then the moon goes back. I mean, it's a possibility. I don't believe that. So, this is for the time when the end of this creation of mankind will be coming close, and the hour of that end, the destruction, and the moon will split. And if they see a sign, they turn away and they say, magic continues. So whenever they see any sign, they call this all magic going on around them. And they falsify and they follow their thoughts, and every command placed. And already came to them from the news what in it cautioning, wisdom reaching, but not self sufficient, the warning. So, warnings. So, all these books that are here are news, and in them is cautioning to what's going to happen. Mankind just disregards it because it doesn't happen at their pace, yeah, at their liking. It doesn't happen instantaneously, so they disregard it. Most people live to what, 70, 80 years old. So after the first 10 years, this is all nonsense. We'll live forever. None of this is going to happen. It's just made up stories that we're supposed to abide by and stop having our fun. So what does he say? But turn over them. A day he will call the caller to a thing weird. So he's telling the messenger, turn away over them. Turn over them. So a thing weird, obviously this is talking about the fire. That's where they're going to be called. Humble their sights. They coming out from the graves like surely they locusts spreading. That's what's going to happen that day. You will come out of your graves. Striving to the caller. They will say, the rejectors, this day difficult. Oh yeah, it's going to be difficult. Trust me. Or don't. Falsified before them people of Noah. So now God has said this is what's going to happen on that when that hour comes. This moon's going to split. They're going to call it magic. Yeah. And God says every command is placed. And he sent news and cautioning, wisdom reaching, but they are not sufficient over these men, the deluded, deranged lunatics that walk the earth, that have walked the earth. There has been no civilization, there has been no progress in mankind's wisdom. Only the messengers bring wisdom, and those who follow them or him or me today. And then he turns to the story of Noah. Falsified before them, people of Noah. Them, any of them. After Noah, it's them is all, and of course, these are the same. Everybody falsified after Noah, and before all these people, Noah was falsified. But they falsified our servant, and they said, mad and be cautioned. That's what you call me, yeah? But called his Lord. Surely I overcome, but help. So, You have to understand this is one of the seven clear examples, and many of them, most of them are in this chapter. We will go in 4 or 5 lines, you will see the whole story of what happened. But of course, this is a um, the overarching story of what happened. The details are far more uh, in depth and vast compared to these 6 or 7 signs, and most of us do not cannot understand this sequence if we haven't understood the whole of the Quran, where all this story is laid bare throughout the Quran, of Noah and the other 6 major examples, culminating in the example of Moses and Pharaoh, which is the absolutely detailed and clear example of what God does with the people. So he's explaining what happened with Noah. So they called him mad, and be cautioned, meaning don't follow him. Yeah, he's going to take you to hell, just like they say about me or any other messenger. We're not the same. I mean, it's not like something different happens every time. So he called, surely I overcome, but help. That's the call to God. So we opened doors of the heaven with fluid flowing. So understand, this is not metaphorical. People call this metaphorical doors. No, there are real doors up there, the heaven that is constructed above us, which cannot be transgressed by us. We cannot pass it. And in them are doors, and above the heaven is fluid. So God opened the doors of heaven, and the fluid came flowing. And we flowed the earth springs, but thrown the fluid over command already measured. So he filled the earth to a command that was already measured, basically covering all earth. The whole earth was under fluid. And we carried him over with planks and stalks. So this is basically over the ships, yeah? They were planks and stalks. That's how you make ships. There are columns and planks, horizontal and vertical. That's how you make ships. Flowed with our eyes, repaying to one who was rejected. So that's how we get repaid in the end. The rest are destroyed, and we are made the victorious in the hereafter and on this earth, like in the case of Noah and many others. They were made victorious on the earth, everybody else was destroyed. Or we will be made victorious in the hereafter. In the end, we will win. There is no other exit from this story. And already we left them a sign, but are from admonished. So they left the ships a sign, God and the angels and the Spirit. And he's asking, are from admonished? No, my Lord, the answer is absolutely not. None of them even believe the flood or the story of Noah. But how was my punishment and my warnings? A question. And most believers will say, unfathomable, absolutely unsustainable, the punishment and warnings of God. The others will say, nonsense. And already we ease the Quran to the remembrance, but are from admonish. So the Quran is easy to remember, but why don't you remember it? And why aren't you admonished?
There is some background sound coming. I don't know where it's from.
I don't know. I can't hear it.
Okay.
I mean, is it like, can you hear my voice?
Yes.
Okay. I mean,
It's
what?
no, it's okay. Now it's gone.
I mean, it's feedback, I think. I hear some background feedback sometimes. Anyway, so falsified Ad. So this is the generation that came after Noah, that is example in the Quran, and these are the Greeks. The Ad are the Greek people. Falsified Ad. But how was my punishment and my warnings? So who did they falsify? It's not written here. Hud, the messengers called Hud. Surely we sent over them wind continuous and days of destruction continuous. So they were destroyed by wind, and that lasted, as I remember it, 7 nights and 8 days continuously. Destructive wind that massacred and destroyed everything in its path, basically the whole generation. She snatched the mankind like surely their trunks of date trees cut. But how was my punishment and my warnings? To the untrained eye, this seems like nonsense being written, but it is so deep for those who understand the Quran, that they shudder in their hearts. You do not mock God's punishment and his warnings, yet you mock God and his punishments and his warnings, and all of us. You mock us. And then one day when the truth will come, you will see. And already we ease the Quran to the remembrance, but are from admonished. Repeat. This will be repeated 3, 4, 5 times in this Quran. He's he is inculcating in us, the believers, that the Quran is easy to remember. And guess what? I remember it. It's very easy for me. Yeah, but you have to keep reading it instead of reading your goddamned nonsense that you read on Reddit and CNN and Fox and BBC and MSNBC and Zero Hedge and all the other so-called alternative and mainstream media, and get bamboozled by absolute garbage thrown at you. So that's what the end of them was. He doesn't even mention Hud here, by the way. So you have to understand, you can't understand these signs until you understand the whole Quran. Most of the chapters at the end are a uh, review of the whole Quran, and written in ways to make you think farther into the essence of what the Quran is and the meaning of the Quran. If you want to keep it simple, you can read this as well and understand. But then don't try and make up your stories that you do. Falsified Thamud with the warnings. So Thamud is the one after the Ad, and their remnants are in the Far East, in the eastern part of so-called Earth, India and China and all that region are the remnants of these people. But they said, so this is what they said: is a conscious being from us one? We follow him. Surely we then to be in a strangeness and fire. Is thrown the reminder over him from between us? But he a falsifier evil. So what do you tell me, all of you? The same thing. I'm the only one guided on the earth by God today, to the level that I'm. Of course, everybody is guided by God. Most of you are guided by God to hell. I'm the only one who knows this Quran to the level that I know, that a messenger would know. You can't come close to it. And when I come to you with authority of this message, you question it as if, how can we follow one man? He's telling us exactly opposite of what everything is good and righteous on the earth. So if we follow him or me, you're going to go astray and be in the fire. I mean, is the reminder thrown over him between us? How can that be? He's a falsifier evil. All right. God's thought. Soon they will know tomorrow who the falsifier, the evil. I mean, tomorrow doesn't mean tomorrow like the next day. God knows how many decades or centuries that Saleh, who is the messenger of the Thamud, was on the earth. We don't know. They used to live up to 1,000 years in the time of Noah. I'm pretty sure they lived hundreds of years at this time. And it kept getting less and less until now we live barely 100 years maximum. So God says, surely we sent the Nakata, trial to them. So the Nakata was an animal. God sent them as a trial. And he said, but watch them and surely wait. He told the messenger, and inform them, surely the fluid divided between them. All drinkers be presented. So he said, the fluid is going to be divided between all of them and the Nakata, the animal of God. So what did they say? God says, but they called their companion. So came but cut. So they killed the animal. Then God says, but how was my punishment and my warnings? What did he do? Surely we sent over them blast one. But they were like dust, the lost. One, I mean, you don't understand how deep this statement is, because you just see it as a sentence that, oh, I'm going to kill you, and then just a rhetorical statement. This is the absolute statement of God. One blast, and they were all vanquished. And already we ease the Quran to the remembrance, but are from admonished. I mean, how many times are we going to answer? No, my Lord, they're not from admonished. None of them give a hoot about your warnings. And nobody tries to remember the Quran. Now we skip to Lot, and we omit the one between Lot and Saleh, who was Abraham, the father. falsified people of Lot with the warnings. Surely we sent over them a form, except family of Lot. We saved them with mourning. Favor from within us. Like that we repay one who thanks. And already they enticed, no, and already they warned of our grasp, but they doubted with the warnings. And already they enticed him over his guests, but we blotted their eyes, so they tasted my punishment and my warnings. And already their morning tomorrow punishment placed, so they taste my punishment and my warnings. So, what happened with the people of Lot? When the angels came to Lot, the messengers of God, they tried to entice them because obviously they appeared as male beings, and the people of Lot were all about shunning their spouses or the females and having sexual relationship between men, which is abhorrent, which they glorify on the earth today, and God will show them in the end how abhorrent that is. And already their morning tomorrow punishment place, so they taste my punishment and my warning. So this is, you can read this as for any people. Tomorrow doesn't mean tomorrow. Tomorrow means the day God brings it. Because this is one day we spend on the earth. We spend no more than a day on the earth. That's all we spend. This is one day. And then the next day is the hereafter. Or every day is a day as well. Which day is it? So it doesn't me have to be like tomorrow is the punishment coming. But the day of the punishment is coming, just like the day of the hereafter will come after we die here and this is all destroyed. And already we ease the Quran to the remembrance, but are from admonished. And already came to family of Pharaoh the warnings. So now we're gone to Moses. We skipped Shoaib here.
Shoaib.
So there's two skipped in this of the seven, Abraham and Shoaib. Shoaib was the one that came to Tiberias and Nazareth, Madian and Mutafikat, which is in the Quran, which today is called Tiberias and Nazareth. So to family of Pharaoh came the warnings. Who? Moses and Aaron. They falsified with our signs, all of them. They falsified all the signs. So we grabbed them, grabbing mighty, powerful. So 2 lines, huh? That's all. 2 lines for all of Moses. Are your rejectors better from those to you? Or to you freeing in the books? God's asking all of you, are they better from are your rejectors from those? None of them are better than those. They were far better than these rejectors on the earth. Or is there freeing to you in the books that nothing's going to happen to you? That's what they've done. They've said no more messengers are going to come. No punishment like that of Noah is going to come, the Christians say. And that if no messenger is going to come, the so-called Muslims are basically saying there's no punishment coming either. Or they say, we together to be helped. That's what they say, right? Together we'll band together and we'll prepare to battle the aliens that are coming. The aliens are coming. UFOs, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the aliens are coming. They're called angels. They're going to massacre you. No freaking preparation or togetherness is going to help you that day, idiots. So they will be pushed. Soon they will be pushed. The togetherness. And they will turn the backs. When you see God's war, you will see that your pea shooters, because all they are pea shooters in front of God's machine guns, you will turn running. But the hour promised them, and the hour pushes and bad. Surely the sinners in a strainers and fire. So look at how God nuances this. Yeah, these morons up here, the ones who falsified Saleh. Yeah, what did he tell him? If we follow that one man, surely we then to be in a strainers and fire. Yeah, God responds down here. Surely the sinners in a strainers and fire, and all the sinners are all the ones who reject God and the rest of us messengers. You are the sinners. You will be in a strainers and fire. There will be no help for you. You can kill us, you can prosecute us, you can denigrate us, you can call us whatever names you want, and we will call you those names as well. But in the end, our name calling will not be questioned. Your name calling will take you to hell. A day they dragged in the fire over their faces, they will taste touch of fire. Surely we, everything we created with measure, everything is measured by God and created, and not our command, except one blinking with the sight. God doesn't need to say. He just says be in his soul to all the messengers, the angels, the spirit, and it is. That's how fast his command is, except a blinking from the sight. And already we destroyed your things, but are from admonished. How many things has he destroyed of yours on the earth? Every day he keeps destroying, but they run around as if it's just some natural act, coincidence, random. Yeah, it's not, there's nothing to it. This is how nature works. Yeah, we get destroyed, then we make it back up. And everything it done in the books, and all small and great written. Everything is written. Everything. Nothing is going to be hidden that day. It's in that mother of the book that contains all wisdom, all knowledge, everything. Surely the pious in gardens and rivers, in stations of truth with King Powerful. There's where we'll have our stations above all of you with the King Powerful who is God. And there you will see who is in charge. So we end that there.
So much the book of God is so heavy, there's so much wisdom in it, and nobody pays attention to it. We just go around our merry way. And like you said, that when the messenger comes, like you come and you tell us, it's like I'm saying it's against our desires, and so we run after our desires and we leave what God is telling us. And he's so compassionate, so merciful, that he keeps sending us messengers. The book is there, but he keeps sending us as messengers so that they clarify to us the book. And yet,
He is not
you know,
so merciful and compassionate all the time. Don't be that way. He is evil and wretched as well. So his
absolutely, yeah,
compassion and mercy is limited to where he's had
yes,
enough with all of you. And today you can look around the earth, his compassion, his mercy is fading. His evil and wretchedness is coming upon them. And when he intends with the people evil, there's no turning back to that evil. And I see
oh,
he has intended evil with these on the earth now. There'll be no turning back to it till they're vanquished, all of them, and put in hell. So, why is it compassion and mercy that he sends the messenger? It's a warning. The messenger is information and warning. It's not compassion and mercy, it's fairness. Fairness of God is that he sends his messenger or messengers so they inform you and warn you before the line is crossed, and he comes down with a ton of bricks on you. This aspect of
yeah,
people just painting God as this merciful, loving, he sits in the corner quivering as if he fears doing anything to us. He doesn't give a damn. The day he decides to finish us off, nothing is going to stop him. And he will finish us off here. And then in the end, maybe he'll finish off everything after eons or forever passes in the hereafter. I don't know. I mean, the book says clearly that he created the heavens and the earth, all of them, with the truth and a term fixed. So it alludes to the point that he's going to destroy everything in the end. I will be gone, all of us, after all this eternity pass. I don't know. It points to that. That's what I'm going to say. I don't know for sure. But he said maybe the term fixed is forever. And forever there means forever. Forever here doesn't mean forever. Forever here means until he kills us. So, these are nuances that you have to understand. And, everybody likes to go towards the mercy and love of God and forget about his destruction, which is all that's mentioned in this chapter. So, your
yeah.
intrinsic heart wanted to bring compassion, whereas there's no compassion in this chapter. I don't see any compassion at all from God in this chapter. All he's talking
No,
about is
absolutely.
punishment and warnings. So, you're intrinsically afraid of it. So you run to the mercy side of God.
True, absolutely, absolutely. I'm terrified of
Oh, but you have to be
the
truthful.
punishment of God, the
What's going to
wrath.
come in
Yeah,
is his punishment. The warnings have
absolutely.
already come. I've been warning for 18 years. I've been telling everybody what's going to happen. And half of it, if not more, has already happened. And they don't
Yep.
see it that what I'm saying is actually happening, no matter what they do on the earth. What's going to happen in the end is written in the book, their destruction, unless they turn and believe, which will not happen because God has already written that in the book. Not will they believe till they see the punishment, the grievous. When the grievous punishment arrives, your faith will not benefit you, so you can believe as much as you want, then you will be destroyed, you know. And God will take
Yeah.
away that punishment a little when the smoke comes. I don't know when the smoke is going to come. That's the other exception, right? When that
Yes.
smoke comes and mankind screams and shouts to God for help, He will reduce that punishment a little. And I don't know whether it's going to be while I am on the earth or during my messenger, whatever they call it, as my being a messenger. I'll be dead, maybe, I don't know, or I'll be alive, I have no idea. Or maybe it'll be the next messenger, or it'll be when Jesus comes, I don't know. You can keep guessing, but why does it matter? When the smoke comes, you won't need CNN to tell you that the smoke is here. You won't need your prime minister or the king to come and inform you that is smoke covering you all. You will see it with your eyes, and there will be everything will be blotted in the heaven, and we'll see how long you last with that. When that happens, we'll see.
Yeah. No, true.
Anyways,
So
so
yeah. So no, I stand corrected. Yeah, I
yeah, absolutely.
understand. Okay, and yeah, you're right about what you said. Absolutely. And so I did want to ask you about one thing. We were talking one day, and you talked about freedom, and you asked me, "Do you have freedom?" And like how they say it, like the ability to do whatever you want, however you want, say whatever you want, and like in this world. So can you talk
Yeah,
about
I
that?
mean, what level of freedom do we have? Yeah, what level of freedom do we have to do things? That's what we have to ask, right? I mean, can we do anything we want? No, we
No.
have certain limits within which we can act, right? And if you step back and look at the whole world, what real freedom do we have to do things? Not much,
Yeah, not much.
not much at all,
Yeah,
correct? So
yeah,
the only one who has absolute freedom is God, no one else. We are all slaves or servants to God, if you like the word servant better than slave, which is exactly the same as slave. I mean, these people are crazy. Oh, you're just servants. You're not slaves. A servant is a slave,
yeah,
and
yeah,
slave is a servant.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
all you can do is what you're allowed to do with the capacity you've been given, and you can think whatever you want in your mind to the capacity you're given. Do you think you can think about everything? No, we don't even know anything or everything, not anything. So how are we going to think about everything? So it's like you can think whatever you want, you can say whatever you want, but you can't say everything because you don't know everything. Neither do I. I know this Quran, which is enough to get you out of the hellfire if you follow it with true earnest intent and consistency. It will get you out of the fire in the hereafter. Absolutely. I mean, even if you can't believe and you just accept there's a God and you submit to Him and you believe what you can, but you follow everything to the T that is written, which is clear to you, God may forgive you for that. He may, because He knows man is incapable of belief. Why does no one believe then? If we're capable of believing, why don't we believe? Because we're not capable of overcoming the nonsense in front of our eyes that we see, the world that we live in. We cannot overcome that nonsense. So, since we cannot overcome that nonsense, we will not be able to believe. You have to know this whole thing is a joke. The life, the world, the technology, the civilization, everything is a joke, a hoax, delusion, deception. I keep repeating it ad nauseam. I
yeah,
will keep repeating it ad nauseam. I learned that from a friend of mine. The word ad
yeah. You,
nauseam.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You like to use big words which normal people like me don't
Right. It's not
understand.
that big a
So
word,
yeah,
anyways. But yeah, we don't
yeah,
have much freedom. That's what you have to understand. And we can do what God gives us the ability to do. The problem with us is
mhm.
we don't want to abide by the laws of God. We have the freedom to follow His laws and His edicts and believe what He tells us to and His messengers. And we have the freedom to reject all of that and follow the Satan. That's the freedom we have. All of the freedom we have is that. Literally, I mean, if you look at the big picture, that's what it is, right? So let's see, we've got a couple of questions. Uh, so first, there's one I don't need to go to the. Can you elaborate on the lesser punishment that occurs in 32:21? So the lesser punishment. Okay, let's bring this up. So here in chapter 32, the Spirit tells us, and to are surely making them taste the punishment the lesser, other than the punishment the greater. Maybe they return. So the lesser is where you're not done, basically. The lesser punishment is where you're not finished. You're not certainly going to hell. When the greater punishment comes, which is the end of the people, your death, or the end of the earth, there'll be no coming back from that for all of them, most of them. The lesser is to make you wake up from your delusion, to make you understand that you are wrong, and what punishment is punishment and what punishment is a trial. You need to keep guessing that. You don't know. When something evil happens to me, is it a punishment on me or is it a trial on me? And most people try and just rationalize that away as it's just a trial and don't address it. Even if it's a trial, should not I address that? For sure.
Absolutely.
I need to go inside my soul and figure out why that evil happened to me. And if it is something unrighteous that I'm doing, then I just stop doing it. I have to figure it out first. It's not going to come easy to me if I'm under that trial and I'm blinded, obviously. But then there is another trial that comes to you, the evil that is because of righteous deeds. Like I do the righteous deed of delivering this book to mankind. They bring evil to me because of it. They do evil to me. They think evil of me because they think me high and mighty, which I am over them, obviously, that I'm arrogant to them. And the evil will come to me because of that. But there is no other way to deliver this message but with absolute straightforwardness and arrogance. This message is based on arrogance. There is no humbleness in this message. You've read it for what, 10 years now at least? So, how
Yeah.
much humbleness do you see in this message?
No, it's direct. It's like take it
Yeah,
or leave
go
it
to
kind
hell.
of a thing.
Follow or go to hell. You're going to
Yeah.
be put in hell.
Yeah.
Believe, obey, submit. I don't think that's nice for these people, is it? But it's nice for me
No,
because I know
but
that's the truth.
mhm, yeah.
So, so I hope that explains it. So let's go to this other one where it says, can you explain sign 27 in chapter 57? Chapter 27. Chapter 57 and 27. Okay, so this is the place where they talk. The Spirit is telling us about what they did with Jesus a little bit. Then we followed over their remnants with our messengers, and we followed with Jesus, son of Mary, and we brought him the Injil. So the book that Jesus brought, the Gospels they call it, the Word of God, is called the Injil in the Quran. And we make in hearts of those who follow him compassion and mercy. You will find the Christians to be the most compassionate and merciful of all of mankind. And the reverence, they initiated her, not we wrote her over them. So the reverence is all your reverendship. The popes, the fathers, the priests, they're called reverends, right? Because they revere them. That has not been initiated by God. He did not set it up for them. He did not write that, except seeking happiness of the God, but not they set her up. Truth of her setting up, the happiness of God. They go into this reverence and they put their stupid clergy as to be revered. No, God is to be revered. But we bring those who believe from them their rewards, and many or most from them rebellious. So this is basically mankind. Those who believe will get their rewards in this world and specifically, especially in the hereafter. But most of mankind are rebellious. That's the way it is, yeah. There's no doubt about it.
Yes. I mean, yeah, look at the Pope, how they worship him, so to say, in their
God,
terminology.
he's the vicar of Christ. If you read into their documentations, they make him God. He's infallible, yeah. What? He's Jesus? Or he's God? He's neither. And neither is Jesus God, even though he's infallible. Just because you're infallible doesn't make you God, by the way. Yeah, and we are fallible, so we certainly can't be gods. We are flawed to the nth limit, absolutely flawed, completely flawed. I mean, we are so flawed that it's insane. And we run around because of our beauty, wealth, power, fame, fortune, whatever, and the technology and nonsensical knowledge of this life of the world that we figured out. And we think we've somehow become gods or like better than the rest. The only thing that makes you better than the rest is to know the wisdom and knowledge of God, the book of God, and the wisdom. That is what's going to make you higher than the rest, like I am. I'm not going to be shy. I am the highest man in the eyes of God on the earth. I don't see anyone higher than me. I look around. I've been searching for 15 years, or I searched for 15 odd years to find someone who knew something that I know or something like I know. There's nobody out there by a long shot, by like miles and miles and miles. There's nobody, not even close. Only a few of those who are following me are at least believing what I believe, but they can't get to my level because it takes time. I wasn't like this. I didn't grow up like this. I was evil. I was a transgressor. I partnered with God. I rejected God. Knowing that God was there, I already always knew from since I was 10 years old God exists, but I rejected him. Not that he wasn't there or not that he is doesn't exist, but I rejected his command because I never paid attention to the Quran until God woke me up when I was 30 some years old. And then I turned to God and I saw the evil that I'd done all my life, and then pushed it back. And it has taken what now 20 odd years or more to overcome most of that. And I've overcome most of that. I'm not going to be shy on you. You cannot come to me and argue about God and get one up on me. You can't. It's not going to happen. You can take it to the bank. You can dream about
Yeah,
doing it, and I'm sure some of you do, who know me. Those who don't me have no clue. But those who don't me can come and argue with me, but they will never, because internally they know they have no knowledge. They have no knowledge, and God chooses the one He wants to give the knowledge. You have no choice in it. Neither do I. I had to choose to be what I am, even though He chose me. It doesn't mean that I have to do it. Oh, I have to do it if I don't want to go to hell. Yeah. But just
yes,
like you don't have to follow me, but you have to if you don't want to go to hell. It's the same.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. No, for sure, I do want to follow you and correct myself. Yeah. And okay, I did want to ask you a question. Do you have more
No,
questions
that's
over there on
good.
the chat? Okay. Okay. I want to ask you a question about the soul. What is the soul? Is it our consciousness? And also, there's a lot of misconception with the so called Muslim scholars and things like that. They confuse the soul and they call it the ruh, the spirit,
This
right?
is only in
They,
this Middle East. I mean, in the Indian subcontinent. I haven't heard it anywhere else where we are originally from. Nobody all else calls it ruh, the soul. Only in Pakistan and India, as far as I know. I haven't heard it anywhere else, by the way. So go ahead.
I mean, I was just doing a little research and like this comes up that, Ruh is what is, it's the godly, I don't know, part in you or divine part in you and things like that. And which I was like, what
So
are they
were
talking
they
about?
conflating it with the soul in that?
I think so. That's what I
So it's
understand.
a
And that's why I
misconception.
want you to clarify. And then also that when is the soul assigned to the body? and what actually is controlling the body, the soul, the mind? Like, how
Whoa,
does
I
it all
mean,
work?
are we going to be here for the next couple of days? Let's go just
I don't,
before,
I
let's
don't
keep
have
it
any
simple at the
idea.
soul. So the soul
Okay.
is who we are. We are not this body. I've been saying this for a few years, that we are not this body. We are the soul that is in this body, the consciousness, as it's called. We are a conscious being. And the consciousness that is in this being is the soul that God puts in there. And the soul is created with its own intrinsic construction, which God does for every soul, and He knows with her wickedness as well as piousness intrinsically coded into that being, which is intangible in this world. You cannot measure the soul in this world. It's immeasurable. There's no way. The people, oh, when the body dies, it loses 5 grams or 8. This nonsense I've heard. It's all garbage. We cannot measure the soul because it's in a different realm from this world. It comes from a different realm and it goes back to the different realm. It doesn't interact with this world except through this body that we're in. Whether we're a man or a woman or a demon or an angel or whatever, that soul is who we are. When the body dies, the soul leaves the body. The body is just garbage after that. That's why God tells you to put it back in the earth so it becomes manure and feeds the earth where it came from, that body. The soul doesn't come from there. The soul comes from God. And who controls the soul? The Holy Spirit. He blows life into every soul on the earth, when every body in when we are born. When are we born? Not at 9 months, at 3 months after conception. 3 months after conception, the soul is put in the body. From then on, it is a human, it is a man. Whether it's female or male doesn't matter. It's a man, it's conscious, it's alive. Before that, it's just a living being, a body, right? But not a complete man until the soul is born. That's in the third, at the end of the third month of gestation, the spirit blows life into the body. And now how does that happen? I can't tell you. How many angels does he has at his disposal to do this? I don't know, or he just has a button to press, and I don't know how it works. I don't know the unseen. I can just tell you what happens. So he puts it, and then 6 months later, more or less, 9 months is the average gestation, you get born. So that's what it is. You become a man after 3 months of gestation in the womb of your mother. That's when the soul is blown, yeah. And what else did you? I forgot what else you asked.
That
The
was
Ruh
one of.
thing, yeah. The Ruh in Arabic is the spirit who is Gabriel. There's no other Ruh in the realm of God. The only Ruh who is the spirit, the Holy Spirit, is Gabriel, the highest, most powerful messenger of God, the most exceptional messenger of God, the Holy Spirit, the absolute most powerful and highest messenger. Nothing comes close to him from mankind. None of us, not Jesus, not Muhammad, not any other messenger. They are his servants. So am I. And all the believers are servants of Gabriel. He is the head of this side until you reach God, who is the head of every side. God is the head of the side of Satan as well. It's not like Satan works without the guidance and authority of God. He cannot do anything beyond that. There's a pact between God and Satan, which was made at the time of our first creation, which is written in this book. That only those who follow that bastard, Iblis, he has authority over them. The exclusive servants of God, he has no authority over us. He knows it. If he inflicts any harm on us, the repercussions are biblical, will be biblical. Any believer, not just a messenger, but specifically a messenger. If he attacks a messenger of God and kills the messenger, of course, God will let him do that. It's not like God doesn't know. But he knows what the repercussions, so he doesn't touch us until the game is up. and the end is here, and he knows it. How many times has Satan witnessed the end of a generation? I don't know. I wasn't there, but there've been unbelievable number of generations that have ended, and Satan has witnessed that because he's from the lookers. That was the pact. He will be from the lookers. He will call upon mankind, and he said most of them you will find not thankful. He told God to his face, and God said, "Go. Whoever follows you from them, you're going to be in hell altogether." And that's what's happening since then on every generation. The few of us, the messengers and the few that follow the messengers, are the saved every time. The rest go to hell, and then the next sequence starts. That's how it goes. I think that answers the question, I hope.
Yeah, and then we don't know what happens to our soul once we are
No,
dead.
it goes back to God. What do you mean what happens? It goes to God. Some
Yeah,
of
but
us, most of us are in hell. It's in the
yeah,
body in hell. God creates a body, puts you in there, and burns you in hell forever. It's happening right now. The others that are alive are in the garden. Or God could give you angelship if He wants and give you a task to do after you're dead with that power and authority. You're not going to be like Gabriel or Michael. You'll be a lower
yeah,
angel like Iblis was, and he turned against God and went into. I don't know. I mean, he can, but most are in hell. In the souls are put in the bodies resurrected after death, and they put in hell. And the others are resurrected and put in the garden until we wait for the end of everything, right? The the time
right.
factor is another thing that we don't understand. The time passes the same way it passes here as anywhere else. When people say, "Oh, when the sun stops, the time stops," no, morons. The time doesn't stop. The sun stops or the moon stops. The time continues. If God stops the sun, you think we're going to be frozen? No, unless he freezes everything, then you would never know.
Yeah,
If he freezes this whole thing,
yeah,
like we have a computer game going and say, pause, I'm going to go and take a shit and come back. If God pauses the whole thing and starts it after 5 million years have passed, how many seconds
we
will we
won't know.
count? Zero.
Yeah,
Zero, absolutely zero. So this is insanity what we believe. And this jumping back in time that they made us believe in the last 40 years. Complete and utter nonsense. You cannot go back in time, morons. It's impossible. Cause and effect. When the cause happened, the effect, you can't undo that cause and effect. You understand? You cannot do it.
yeah,
That's the way it is.
yeah,
It's cause and effect. Once that happened, the next path occurs. You can't go back and change that, then the whole reality in the future will change and you didn't exist in that reality. Oh, there are
yep,
million unfathomable parallel universes, multitudes of them running at the you are there are 5 billion or God knows how many examples you at the same time. Yeah, could have been, but I'm this and you are that. You aren't that because you didn't take the choice to be there, and there's no way you can do it now because the time, quote unquote, has passed. The events have
yeah,
occurred, your decisions have been taken, you took the path, you're here. And so are all of us all together. So we always, all together, also consolidate to come to this end and singularly for ourselves. At the end, this whole thing will bring the destruction and our deaths, all of us, whatever decisions we make. But we have
yeah,
X amount of decisions to make, and then in the end, we die. Period. That's how it works. There is no
yeah,
change in time on the other side of this equation. It's the same, and we can go forward in time. Absolutely, we can absolutely be taken out of this time sequence, put to sleep or put to death, and then be brought back 50,000 years later. Yes, God does that if He wants. He's done it for the 309 years, the sleepers that slept in the
com-
cave. He did it for the man who
yep,
He killed for 100, gave death for 100 years and brought back. And Jesus apparently has been 2,000 years. He's going to come back for sure. No doubt about it.
yeah,
No doubt about it.
yeah,
And then others that have been given life after death. There have been many. Absolutely.
yeah. Okay, no, cool. And and you asked me the other day, and what is the highest level of rejection?
Hmm.
highest levels of
Levels,
rejection,
yeah.
if you can talk about that. And obviously, I mean, we have to take it into context, right? Because I mean, rejection is a word, right? But we're talking in terms of realm of the Quran
Yeah,
and
the levels
God
of
in
rejection
that
that will take you to
sense.
hell, let's put it that way. The levels
Yeah,
of
okay,
rejection
right,
that will take
exactly.
you in hell. The highest,
Yeah,
bar none, highest level of rejection is rejecting God's existence. Obviously, yeah. That is like you're a rejecter as opposed to one who believes there are God and submits to him, a Muslim, right? It's not believing
yeah,
that God that makes you a Muslim. It's submission to God that makes you a Muslim without knowing anything. But when you know the things and you follow lies, that Muslim breaks into a rejecter. So you're submitted to God without knowing anything. And that's how I was, by the way, when I was young growing up. I didn't know anything. And I was doing wrong ignorantly, obliviously. When you know the truth and you start doing opposite of that, then your Muslim level breaks. That is the highest level of
right,
rejection. If you reject God's existence, you're gone, right? If you accept God's existence, Almighty, and submit to Him, accept whatever it is, whoever you are, you accept that. That's the end of that. You're a Muslim. Now, as a believer, as per the book of God, the highest levels of rejection is those who reject the covenant, that is, of those who believe in the believers. And that is either you reject God, you reject his angels, you reject any of his books, you reject any of his messengers, or you separate between any of his messengers and between any of his messengers and God, or you reject the hereafter. These are the levels that will take you to hell. You will not get out of that. Now, you disobey a messenger, you can go to hell for that as well. But God forgives a lot. We disobey God as well in many things. There's no one who obeys God
yes,
perfectly. So God is magnanimous. That's where his mercy and compassion and his forbearance is there, that he knows what he's created, the nonsense that we are. And if we strive to follow the maximum that we can at the level that we are without becoming gods in our souls, then we'll be okay. And partnering with God, I forgot to say that. That's going to take you to hell for sure. That's a
yeah,
rejected.
all right,
Yeah, and disobedience
yeah,
will get you to hell in the end, but not outright, because I mean, even the messengers disobey God. Yeah, they can't do what he tells them to do all the time as well. They make mistakes in
yeah,
judgment. David, Solomon, Moses, Muhammad, I make mistakes. But I mean, if we are facetiously doing it, malicious intent, then we will be brought up on charges, and our end will be hell as well if we do too much of that. So I stay away
yeah.
from that decision.
And yeah, and you always say, right,
Yeah.
intention, that be clear in your intention that what you are doing and why you're doing.
Yep.
So yeah,
Okay, I think we're
yeah,
done. So
exactly.
we'll come back, if wishes of God, next Saturday at 1 p.m. New York time again. Till then,
Yeah.
salam.